Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. This is episode 8 of our One Piece episodes of the NgoVo Convo podcast where two stupids make a hype.
Hype.
Right. It's hyping right.
It's always,
this week.
Yeah, that's right.
Today.
It's always hype.
Tomorrow. Next week. Every day.
You know what? Yeah. Hell yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I'm one of your hosts, Veronica Vo, and I'm joined by Harrison No. He's to the left, I think. Check YouTube. Do your thing. But if you're new here, we both just want an excuse to talk about anything that ranges from anime to comics, but also, we have a backlog that I almost skipped out on because this is Harrison's backlog, actually.
My backlog. Yes.
His backlog, yes. But also, some would say this is conversing.
NgoVo Convo? NgoVo Convo? Spelled right above.
Wow.
There?
His head.
Yes.
He's pointing, yes. But you can watch every episode on YouTube.com or listen to it as a podcast by searching NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo on your podcast servers of choice. We're in 10 plus different platforms.
10 plus?
10 plus. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about, finally, Skypiea. It's going to be a two-parter, so this is part 2 of Skypiea, the arc.
No, this is part 1. What are you talking about?
It's part 2. It's part 1 of Sky Island is Jaya. So this is
yeah, okay.
So I'm just going to continue.
It is part 2 of the saga, part 1 of the arc.
Yeah.
You confused me.
Part 2. I'm going to do part 2.
I hate that we did this all of a sudden.
You hate how you did this. But we're going to be talking about chapters 237 through 252. I think this was a good halfway point.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll just go. We usually don't do like spoilers or anything or non-spoiler thoughts. We just go straight into the
Kinda
juicy stuff.
Yeah.
Just the good stuff. Any reactions that Harrison might have. But yeah, read the whole thing. The whole thing is like 237 through 302. That's the whole Skypiea arc. But Harrison, you know nothing now.
Yes.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Usual day to day.
This is a fresh,
empty brain,
blank canvas for you with One Piece. So coming off of Jaya, they're getting their way through Sky Island. Not in the safest way. I would like to say, but did you enjoy their ride up and up? They kept going up.
Yeah, so that happened pretty quick, and
oh yeah, it did.
It was so funny. I think the funniest thing was like just they landed, and they were like, "Oh, we made it," and I was like, "Dang, that's wild."
That was quick.
That was quick, right? But they found the entrance right away. Was that what happened? They saw like the Heaven's Gate or something. Was that what it was called?
Yeah. So we meet a couple of new characters, just a few. But Ganfor, who I always like to say Gandalf, call him Gandalf.
Me too. No, me too though.
Yeah.
Like legit.
Yeah. I think he was like inspired by Gandalf because he's just this old man with like a big
beard,
like beard, and he has like a Pegasus like horse.
Damn, I see it. Yeah.
But yeah, so they landed on White Sea, which is 23,000 feet above the Blue Sea. So the Blue Sea is the ocean that we know.
Blue Sea is the
Luffy
ocean.
knows. Yeah, Blue Sea is the ocean. White Sea is 23,000 feet above that. And then there's the White Sea, which is 33 feet above the White Sea, and that is where Sky Island is. That's where Skypiea is. So
which I had to wrap my head around it. I was like, okay, we're now in the clouds, essentially.
Yeah.
But the White Sea is just the clouds, but it's the ocean of...
Yeah, and there's like animals evolving, and I feel like you knew as you were reading this, you knew things are gonna pop out or like
the animals
weird animals
adapt.
coming out.
Yeah.
Like,
legit. So I just went with it, right? As one
and did you like the dynamic? Because you posted the screenshot of Luffy and Usopp getting beat up and I think it was in this part.
No, it's later.
This was later.
Much later. I didn't post anything.
Okay. But there was like a moment when they were on the White Sea where Usopp was like, let me take a dive and see what I'm gonna try and find. Luffy's like, go right ahead. So I feel like that dynamic in this arc really grew, because whoever's idea it is, Luffy's just gonna...
Whoever is with Luffy exudes a bit more stupidity than usual. Is what I've noticed.
And you see that a lot.
Yes.
You will see that a lot.
And I will say, I think the first few chapters of this, it is set up. I just had no interest, though. Definitely. I thought it was funny, but I was like, okay, cool, let's just get to the island.
You're probably like, get to the juicy stuff.
Yeah, it really was. But I will say, I noticed like when we meet Ganfor, we meet I'm kind of speed up for my point to make sense. We meet Ganfor. He asked for money for protection. Yes. He asked for protection money, but he heard how they got in. He's like, nah, here's this whistle for free to call him. I'm like, okay, cool. They get to the gate. The lady's like, all right, pay up.
The Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, Heaven's Gate. The lady's like, all right, pay up so you can get in. They're like, we don't have that money. All right, cool. You can come in anyway. But come in.
She owed them.
Well, she's like,
real good.
Well, she was like, you could come in. I'm not stopping you. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Which I'm like, all right, that's a red flag. That means they're screwed.
Oh, totally.
But it's all about money at this point still. And it's like,
oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, you guys went up this way. Oh, shoot. You guys don't have enough money. It's like, technically, if they went the correct way.
Yeah, that's the funny part. There were multiple routes to get here safely. They decided to do probably the most unsafe way to get up here.
Well, apparently.
And Ganfor was like, oh, you're brave enough to try this route, because there were other routes where like you were able, I guess they were like highways, because they were man-made like cloud highways or something.
Right.
Or like other ports that could take you there. So that was pretty interesting. Yeah. And this was kind of so like Heaven's Gate, you kind of, I feel like the most interesting line when they were entering Heaven's Gate was that Luffy was like, oh, is this heaven? Are we like literally going to heaven? And it's like he took it literally.
Which, as one does, you just went up into the sky. So what do you know, right?
Yeah, exactly. Did you enjoy kind of like the mysterious part of Skypiea and like Angel's Island?
Once they got there, yes.
Yeah.
I think what I got more interested in was the tech. What was it called?
The dials?
The dials, yes.
The equipment?
Dials, the equipment, and how everything works. I think that's
and the waiver, that was a scooter, essentially.
Yes. Which I didn't realize they brought up, because that came from
the boat that fell.
The boat that, yes. And they just took it. And I was like, oh, okay. Because it threw me off, like when he was like, oh, I didn't know you had an older model. I was like, wait, they brought that up? Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
I think the dials are really interesting, right? When Conus was trying to like describe like the record ones,
like recording,
or, like, the tone
sound,
dial,
the
recording
tone.
ones. Yeah.
There's like everyday stuff, like mundane tech, essentially.
Yeah.
But then they started talking about the usage of like in combat.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is getting wild. This is cool.
This is getting interesting.
Yeah.
And then you get introduced to a god, or like his name at least, the kami. I guess what the people would put it. And they put a lot of fear. Like he put a lot of fear into their like souls and stuff. Like how did you feel about the history about like Kami and like Ganfor?
Oh,
because that was talked about a lot in this part one.
Later when they reveal that Ganfor used to, because then so I didn't realize they meant, when they say kami, I thought they were just like, oh, they call them their god, right? I thought it was just someone
kami,
I thought it was, oh, they just someone they worship. And then you start learning it's just a title.
Yeah.
Like it's a title for Skypiea, or for like Angel Island and all that stuff, like the inhabitants there.
Oh,
and So it took me a bit to figure it out, but once they revealed that Ganfor this is down the line, right? When all the shit hits the
shit hits
because that's when he reveals he was the previous Kami.
Oh yeah.
But no, I thought that was like interesting, and I was like, okay, now that's like the class system at that point, right?
Oh
but
yeah, definitely.
It was already kind of sus how everyone's like, oh, the Kami knows everything, and he could hear everything. And I was like,
it could hear everything. Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, that is scary, but everyone's happy.
Supposedly. Because Canis and her father
were so chill.
Were so super chill.
They were like,
and then there's like twists because she was the one that kind of jump started this whole Straw Hats like separating.
Because she called the lobster or crab or whatever.
Yeah, the lobster.
The express lobster, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let me just kind of wrap my head around that. No, yeah, so that's why I was like, it was sus. But I didn't expect it was going to be her. I really didn't. I thought they were just going to mess up. Oh, these guys are nice and all that. Okay, cool. Yeah. Something's going to happen. Because then she was like, oh, let me just take you guys to... Oh, wait, no.
Upper... What was it? The upper...
No, hold on. Their friends got captured already because they were out on the boat.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah. Yeah. Nami and...
Nami, Zoro, Robin, and I think Chopper. They all got captured. Yep. Yeah, that's it. Because Sanji, Luffy, and... I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Usopp, thank you. They were talking about like the dials or something. I don't know. They were talking about something.
Yeah.
So that's how they got separated.
Which I found really interesting.
Well, at first we're like, okay, that got caught, right? We're like, okay, yeah, duh, because because they just beat up like officials, right? They beat up the soldier guys.
Yeah, soldiers.
And then there's, oh no, they got caught. But then Canis was like, oh, let me just take you to the boat to get to them. And I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. That's weird. And then, but you could tell it was kind of sus. At first, I thought she was kind of uncomfortable because everyone knew that these guys were like branded
like
criminals. Illegally there, right?
There, yeah.
So.
No.
But then
I need your thoughts on the current Kami Inel.
He doesn't get revealed till after like near the end though of this episode, right?
Of this episode, yeah.
Because
but you get glimpses of him, like of his power.
No, not really.
Interesting.
I didn't notice. The only thing they mentioned was how he can hear. And I was like, okay, cool. And then, because then the guys had to go through the trials, right?
Yeah, did you like those fights?
So the first one, okay, it was cool. It was cool how they showed the 4 guys because Nami got. So this is like, okay, we're jumping around, but Nami got glimpses of them. Then everything started like, oh, they know about us. It's a lot of like people finding things out. It's a lot of back and forth. But then finally they get captured and all that. But yeah, because the 3 of them, so like
the 3 guys are like Usopp, in like their like Luffy. Challenge.
Yeah, they go through the ball one because they had to choose the 4.
They
go and it's like, oh, choose one of the 4. Like, we'll go through the ball one. I was like, they all sound very like they don't sound menacing. None of them do.
No, they don't. Because it was like what? Yeah, challenge a ball. There's an iron challenge, a string challenge.
Yes.
A swamp one.
Yeah,
swamp one.
So they chose the ball, which they fought the fat dude that can.
What was Suntory?
Satori. He like rigs his like. He says balls, but
balls, are they
like ball of cloud? I don't know what they are.
Yeah, I think they're like balls of clouds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they like explode, and there's like something like funky in them.
It's random.
Yeah.
They got messed up.
They did. And I think the history, because Ganfor, he talks about the history of Skypiea and like Sky Island. And this is kind of like interesting because this is the first time you kind of hear about the song of the island, which is like this bell
Like
that supposedly would stop a war or like fighting.
Because it was like the most like, I guess whenever the sacred area popped up,
yeah,
they're like, that's when they heard the sound the first time, but that was it. That's the only time they ever heard it. So they're like, oh, he was like, I wish to hear that again. This is after he saves Connes, right? And then her dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're at his place. Yeah.
Which is funny because he was charging for money, but then you see his place. I'm like,
there's no need.
There's no need. He's like, I still just need. He's like, I need a living expense. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, you get firsthand of like kind of war and like racism, because I feel like One Piece has a lot of dark themes, and you're slowly getting revealed what they are.
Yeah, because they did start revealing the other tribe, right? You got to see them when they first came, and then Ganfor would because that's right. When they first landed, they encountered a I forgot what they're called, but they look like Native Americans.
Native Americans, yeah.
And
Sandians?
Sandians? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So Ganfor helped. That's what it was. He helped protect them, and he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, here's my fee, so then you can.
Here's the fee.
Here's my protection fee."
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn, okay." That's why he said protection fee.
Yeah.
But you got to see them, and you realize, oh, there is a faction, I will say it's another faction war, but I think overall this was done better. Or it was cooler, I guess. If
it's
anything.
cooler, yeah. There were a couple fights. Which one did you like the most?
I thought
or you paid attention to the most?
In this one, I'm trying not to jump too far either, because I think what was it?
There was Ganfor
versus that guy. I forgot his name.
The string guy, right?
Yeah, the string.
That was really cool.
Because they were essentially doing a lance battle. I thought that was really cool. But it shows like Ganfor. But that's when they reveal like, he's like, oh, you're just a washed-up commie.
Basically.
And I was like, bro, no. But he survives. And it's okay. My funniest thing was everyone just leaves and does their own stuff, right? Like they straight up as like Luffy and
that's
group,
the charm of Straw Hats. They do what they want.
And I mean it's consistent, right? Like let's say while Luffy and that group is getting messed up by the ball dude, by Satori. Zoro's like, okay, let me go talk to the comic guy. It's like, okay,
let me go find him.
Okay, sure. And then Robin's like, okay, I'd like to check out for historical reasons. I'm like, and then Nami's like, oh, because of historical reasons, there's treasure. Because El Dorado. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, they're consistent with their character. And then Chopper's like, they're all like, Chopper, protect the ship.
Good.
And then he realizes, wait, I'm the most unsafe one here now.
I think, and it's really consistent on how like, because in this one, I feel like you get to see everyone interact, not in the same trios or duos that you normally would want to see.
They juggle people around.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
Because you would never see Luffy, Usopp, and Sanji together in more than like maybe half a panel.
Yeah, they wouldn't be together. Because most times Sanji would try to go with the girls. Usopp's
too scared.
So he'll stay back.
Luffy's just eating.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the fact that Usopp had enough courage to start like bombing Satori on his own, like thinking of ideas and stuff?
He figured out how to like get out. Like he had a grapple and everything because he was using the dials at that point, right?
Yeah, and then they were trying to like and like he made his own like little equipment with the hook. Because they were trying to catch up to their boat, which was like
after they beat Satori, they're like, oh, we gotta get back to the boat. Yeah. That's the whole thing. Satori was like trying to prevent them from getting on the boat to get back to on track, blah blah blah.
Then they outsmarted Satori.
Yes. So they have moments. They have cold moments, right? Where they just like Sanji's I'm about to beat you. I'm about to drop kick you.
I feel like people like underestimate Luffy, but I think he is really smart when he fights. Like he knows kind of like his good spots
He
and
pays
bad
attention.
spots. He pays attention.
He pays
a lot.
attention.
And it's the fact that he had to wrap himself around Satori to like disable him.
Well, because I think he figured out like he controlled that one dragon thing, that one dragon attack with a string, and he's like, "Oh, I got you. I'm just gonna hold you, so you can't do anything."
And then Sanji's like, "Okay,
all right,
here
fun.
I come."
And then, okay, I will say, my first thought after that whole thing happened, they were like, Sanji or Usopp's like, "All right, I'll help you guys. Let's grapple to the boat." And he's like, "We're gonna get there. Look at me go." They kept hitting trees. And it's like, and I'm like, at first, before that, I was like, wait, couldn't Luffy just like stretch and reach for it?
Like
and I love how
yeah.
after he's like, "We're alive, aren't we?" He's like, Luffy's like, "I could have stretched and it would have been easier." And I was like, wow. Yes, I thought the same thing. That's cool. Good.
People,
validated.
Yeah. But they're really stupid when they're with Luffy. So they weren't thinking.
No, 100%. I thought
was there
funny
anything? Oh wait, go ahead.
I was gonna say the whole Ganfor thing. I thought it was funny how like the what's his name? That 1/4 dude or of the four.
Shura. Yeah, Shura. The string guy.
Yeah. Before he fought Ganfor, he came to like take care of the whole boat thing, right? As sacrifice. And,
yeah.
And all there is Chopper, and Chopper's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, normally you guys would be okay if you just stay on the boat or stay in this area. But because 3 people went off, I have to blood for blood, essentially." And
yeah.
Chopper's just like, he remembers how Zoro's like, "I'm going to go talk to the guy." And he's like, "It's all his fault."
He's having flashbacks. Are you noticing that the Mary is like the boat? She's getting wrecked.
She's getting absolutely wrecked.
She's getting absolutely wrecked.
Because he kept destroying the boat. He kept trying to destroy the boat. And then
it was caught on fire. The mast came off.
Yeah.
Like it was
but
poor
then
Chopper.
Chopper had the whistle, so that's how Ganfor came. I was confused who had what. I was really just confused who had to hit whistle and when.
I feel like this was like a lot of like placement of people and things happening at the same time.
Because, okay, like, here's why I got confused. And we're going to roll it back a bit. When Luffy and all the gang were about to get on the boat, and that Conus was getting them too. Yeah. And then they were about to, oh, wait, yes. That was one of the powers. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot that ray of like lightning or whatever.
The ray of lightning.
But it just looked like a light beam, and I was just like, oh, the dude's just ready to laser anyone that like is
that
bad.
He hears is bad. Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, that was one of the powers that we figured out, but it wasn't revealed at the time. That's
why.
It
wasn't.
Because at the time I was like, oh, they must, because they kept pointing to the fact that dials are a thing. So I'm like, oh, must be like a machine that can vibrate someone. Sure.
Oh yeah.
But at that point I was confused because Ganfor came to save them, but they didn't have the whistle. I feel
like he was like.
I think he was close by,
on
right?
watch. He was really close by. Yeah, close by.
Because I thought they had the whistle because they kept trying to allude to who had the whistle. But.
Oh yeah, I feel like in one panel it was taped on the mast.
It was on the mast. No, it was revealed that Chopper technically ended up with the whistle. Yeah. But that was like my one thing was like a lot of things did happen, so you had to kind of pay attention to keep up.
And it was happening at the same time.
Yeah. There's a lot of, which is normal, which happened before too. It's fine. It was just this one just felt more fast paced, or it just felt more condensed and just a lot of things. Yeah.
Like was happening.
Not bad. Yeah. I was like, that was just the one thing I noticed. Like as I was reading, I was like, oh, there's so much stuff. Yeah. So.
No, but at the end of this part that we're talking about, it's revealed that Robin, Nami, and Zoro, they find the missing half of Cricket's house,
which you didn't realize was missing. You just thought his house in Jaya was just half of a house.
A fake, and then the rest was fake.
Yeah, he just made it
for
fake.
some reason. Yeah,
and I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's an old house, but then they realized that's how they realized that the island's not really, or
they figured out the missing part was not at the bottom of the sea,
but actually in the top. It was in the sky.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's a twist. Holy.
It was a good twist.
And then at this point, because Satori got beat, the rest of the guy, because Ganfor lost.
Yeah, Ganfor lost.
Oh, that was the other thing. That was the other twist, because they were Chopper was trying to go save him, but then the bird, like they got saved and put on the ship, but they realized they're birds. But it's also, and this is happening at the same time. The birds were from Jaya as well. The south
the
bird.
toucan south birds, yeah.
But that's when it's solidified. Like, wait, this is just part of Jaya. That was part of Jaya. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then while that's happening, and like Robin Zoro, that's happening. The Shandians, the people, they wanted to invade like the upper yard.
Yeah, because
which is where Cammy is.
Yeah, which is the whole point. Because they found out that there's an uprising or something.
Yeah.
Or like there's
like a lack of like security.
Yeah. Because they realized the four guys are like dealing with
they're out and
intruders, blah blah blah, all that stuff.
Yeah. And it felt like, did it feel like this was kind of like Hunger Game-esque, even though this came out before Hunger Games? Because it was like kind of like in areas, if you really think about it. Like they were in different areas at the same time.
Yeah, and they had to go through certain parts, and they had to.
Yeah.
I will say that was like the one thing. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It was just because there's so much going on in the areas. You know what? It is kind of like Hunger Games or like a Battle Royale game where there's a bunch of sections and you kind of have to pay attention to where people are.
Oh, yeah.
But there's like one central point, and then there's Skypiea. There's like the Sandian village. And then there's vertical essence to things too.
Oh, I know. It was just a lot.
I think it's a lot to just pay attention, right?
And you did it in one day. Might I add.
I read the entire... I did read the entire arc in one day. I messed up.
Before recording.
So I messed up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a reason why we broke it up into two. Because as I was reading... I finished up to this point. I went past this point, honestly. I really did. I was ready to I was like, oh yeah, we should just record the entire arc.
Oh yeah.
We're already like 20 something minutes in, like almost 30 minutes into this. And I'm like, dude, we're not even we're about to hit halfway. This would be an hour. I think it's more digestible. Just like, I think for me at least, it was good to know that, just to recap on everything, a lot of things are set up. And I think it's a kind of messy part in that you have to jump around a lot.
And remember
where things are. And I only started understanding where things were after the reveal of where they are. Like that it's of an island part of Jaya originally. Or the missing island. Yeah.
No. And he had the audacity to ask to split this. Because Harrison here is a procrastinator.
I like to say that's my toxic trait, and I really thought that
it's like
I read it all in one day.
It's like pulling teeth out of a child to have Harrison read.
Listen.
It's just like pulling. Because he always says after every episode he's hyped and he'll continue reading, and then he waits. Can confirm.
Yeah. You and my wife are both like, he says this. Yeah, because on the side, they're like talking. They're like, yeah, he's so excited after he reads the arc. And he's like, I'm ready to read more. Then I don't.
And then he doesn't.
I try, because I do try to read closer to when we record, which is
that's true.
Usually when we drop the episode.
But I mean, you can always read ahead, and we can just record when you're done.
I'm aware. Yeah, we talked about that after the last time. Didn't click.
But now it's clicking.
But also, they did. So I will say, at this point, they've revealed that Sky Island was part of that, and I think at this point they do reveal Eneru or NL for English reviewers.
Yeah, basically.
Because the three. I forget what they're called. I keep forgetting what the four. It's the four guys, like the
called.
trials
Yeah.
or the challenges dudes.
Yeah.
I forget what they're
I forget
called.
what they're called.
But Eneru calls them up, and
They have a talk, but that's mostly in the part 2 where it starts.
yeah. But essentially,
hype.
I was like, that's when they start. Like, we'll stop there.
Oh yes, for sure. Did you have a favorite part? Was there anything funny or anything that stuck out to you that you want to know more about?
For sure. At this point, I was like thinking, oh, why is this guy scary?
What?
No, it was straight up. I was like, this guy's called if he could beat Ganfor, and I'm not saying that Ganfor was crazy strong. It's just if his guys are like, if his 4 dudes are like this strong, how is he like insanely powerful, right?
Oh yeah.
And everyone's scared to like mess with him.
That is true.
So.
Nothing else stuck out to you? There should be one more thing. Perhaps.
The island part? Like how it got up there?
No.
Part
You're not interested in the song of the island?
No, I was not.
Really?
I was not. I did not care.
Interesting. I feel like you're about to care in this next part.
The next part, yes, I did. But the song, they kept alluding to it. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, I was like, the song's probably going to be the thing that wraps it up. Everyone's like, oh, we need to do this, blah, blah, blah. It's going to...
You're not wrong.
No.
But...
I was not interested in that song. I was more interested in how the hell the island even got up there in the first place.
I mean, I feel like everyone was interested in that.
But, yeah, actually, and you're right. They allude to, and then going back to what you said, dark themes in here are... One Piece is very good at looking very happy-go-lucky, but dark as hell. Because you're right, they allude to like segregation, stolen land, segregation, a little bit of like racism or like
a little bit of racism. Religion was really, really highly up there. Yeah, so. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you have any other closing thoughts? It's not. I know this was like basically a setup because I feel like this next part was really
the payoff. This one was literally the payoff, and this is
truly. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Even though you're a procrastinator, you're forgiven.
That's fine.
Again.
That's the job. It's all good.
You did. But thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at NgoVo Convo, NgoVo Convo. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Big red button below me, him, her, them, they, everyone. Using all the pronouns, yeah. Let us know how we're doing. What do you want to see next? Comment down below and tell Harrison he should stop procrastinating. Please and thank you.
That's the main one, right?
Yes.
Bye-bye.